Yeah, they said that you weren't really catching on as well as they hoped, so they decided to terminate you.
So if you go back and watch that video, it's a fellow that is talking about how he got terminated from his job that he had through a temp agency, even though he was doing really well. And none of his immediate supervisors made the decision. It was someone in HR, he said, who he barely knew. Now, my story is about 25 years old, but it's obviously something that's still happening today, so let me see if I can shed some light. I was temping at a design agency, and they decided they wanted to bring me on, so the vice president and the president drafted this offer proposal, which the vice president then brought to me. He said, so for the first year, you're going to make $10,000 less than you're making now. But then your next year, you'll go back up to what you're making now, plus if you do well, obviously there'll be a merit raise and blah. And I was like, why? Why would you make this decision? Why would you do this? Why $10,000 less a year? And he said, well, because we have to buy out your contract from the temp agency. The president of this company was kind of an egomaniac, and his egomania had trickled down into the executives. And so none of them had any problem drafting this proposal and then telling me straight to my face, saying the quiet part out loud, that we're making you pay this fee that normally the company has to pay. Because they thought it was just this giant gift that I would be allowed to work at this company, that I would be happy to take the hit of the first year's $10,000. So I reiterate, I say it slowly back to him so he can hear how it sounds. I'm making $20,000 this year, which is $10,000 less than I was making an hour ago, so that I can pay off my own contract from the temp agency that you hired to find me. And he said, yeah, isn't it great? No, no, it is decidedly not great. And no, I did not take that position. And they called my temp agency and they said, yeah, no, she's not suitable. They just offered me a permanent job there, but now I'm suddenly not suitable. So I told on them. I told the temp agency what they did and what they said, and the temp agency actually severed their contact with that company, which is huge because temp agencies need clients, right? That's how shady that practice was. So back to the original story, this guy's firing came as a huge surprise for him because he's doing super well. I have a feeling probably what happened was HR is being told by his supervisors that they want to hire him, and they went to the company and asked how much to buy his contract, and they gave him the number, and they're like, no, we're not going to do that. Especially if that person is in charge of budget, because they may not be as forward thinking to realize that it's going to save them a lot of money in the long run to keep the good candidate. And I would not be at all surprised if this same company comes to him under the table in the near future and offers him a job separate from the agency.